Magandang umaga, tanghali at gabi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back everyone to the first Monday episode of 2025 of INCRadio's Faith and Melody. And today's conversation is on the topic of New Year, New Me. So we're excited for you to join us to share your thoughts and your insights. So let's get this show started. Sit back, relax, grab your tea, your coffee, your water, and let's listen to the first song on our playlist today, which is titled, the INC original music titled, A New Me. Kuya Tech, take it away.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I am thankful to our Almighty God because I have found a new way of life, a new way of life in which I've been set free. Truly, there is no more robbing on me. Now that God gave me the chance to be saved, I'll serve more and be steadfast in my faith always. Then renewing my way of life and my duty, I'll continue to serve. Hey.
Now that I'm starting a new life, I'll praise and worship Him forevermore. I will always serve, fulfilling all my duties to our Lord God. This is the new man
Who lives life righteously.
This is the new man
I'll continue to change it for the better. For the better. Who lives life righteously. Yeah.
This is the new man
I'll continue to change it for the better. Woo! I watch every step that I take in my life at the words of God. It shall be my guiding light. I shall avoid all kinds of temptations. I'll strive to reach the promised salvation. I'll strive to endure, renewing my trust. I'll strive to be a good servant of Christ. I'll not be complacent in my duty. I'll change myself to serve God Almighty.
Now that I'm starting a new life, I'll praise and worship Him forevermore. I will always serve, fulfilling all my duties to our Lord God. This is the new man.
Who lives life righteously.
This is the new man.
I'll continue to change it for the better. For the better. Woo! Who lives life righteously. I'll continue to change it for the better. For the better. Who lives life righteously. I'll continue to change it for the better. For the better. Who lives life righteously. I'll continue to change it for the better. For the better.
This is the new man. This is the new man. This is the new man. Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day. Don't forget God's just a prayer away. Don't give up now. Trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. Together as a family in faith and melody.
Welcome everyone to Faith and Melody, the program where we have meaningful conversations on our faith as members of the Church of Christ, while we also listen to inspiring INC original music. Happy New Year and greetings to all viewers, especially to those who are tuning in right now from the Philippines. And whether you're tuning in live with us or on the replay later on, welcome to today's episode of Faith and Melody. With our topic today, New Year, New Me. I am your sister, Arabelle Celestino, coming all the way from London, United Kingdom. But not to worry, I am not your only host for today.
Yes, hello, and happy 2025, everyone. Happy New Year, Ate Bell. And of course, to all of our listeners and viewers, those who are watching the replay or watching us live right now, we're very excited, right? I'm sure everyone is excited that it is a new year. We got a new set of days and months to achieve new goals and to reach new heights. So we're very excited for you to join us in today's topic. I am also one of your host for today's broadcast, your brother Jay Esperanza, broadcasting all the way here in the land down under, in the District of Victoria, here in Melbourne. And hopefully, everyone is doing well and have had a great start to their year. But if it is your first time listening in to Faith and Melody, that's okay. Hopefully, this can be the first of a beginning for you to continue tune in because we are here live Monday to Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for those in the US. But if you are tuning in with us in the Philippines, especially if you're tuning in with us live right now, it is midnight, right? When we air in the Philippines, Tuesday to Friday at midnight. That's when we air there. So hopefully, if you are listening to our replay, you can watch us live as well. You can join us in our live chat. Let us know your greetings, your shout outs, and join in on the fun and the conversation that we'll have. But for our broadcast for today, what you can expect, we do have our icebreaker segment first, just to break the ice before we get into our topic discussion, which is titled New Year, New Me. We've also got a special selection of INC original music, hence why we're called Faith and Melody. So if you do have any song requests of INC original music songs that you would like us to play while you're doing whatever you're doing right now, maybe you're traveling or you're working or whatever time it is in your part of the world, let us know. We'll get our Kuya Nika or Kuya Irene, our brothers there in the main studio helping us out tonight to find those songs and get them played, hopefully on today's broadcast or later on during the week. And of course, after that, we've got a topic discussion and our verse of the week. So we're very excited to get everything started. Make sure if you are tuned into our YouTube channel, INC Radio DZM954, you subscribe, you hit that like button, and you go ahead and share this link to all your friends and family. And with that, let's go ahead and proceed to breaking the ice.
Icebreaker!
Yes, time for our icebreaker. And since it is for us, our first Monday episode of 2025, we just want to have a nice chat, especially with Sister Belle, right? I haven't seen her since last year. It's been a while, right, Sister Belle? So even for our Ohana there, our viewers that's watching us live right now, Ohana means family. And if you are listening to us right now here on Faith and Melody, you are part of the Faith and Melody family. Let us know for our icebreaker, a nice simple chat. What did you do over the New Year celebration? How did you welcome 2025? Like, did you eat lots of food? Did you go to sleep early? Did you stay up late with all your family and friends? What did you do? Let us know there in the live chat. Sister Belle, how about you? How did your New Year celebration go? Anything exciting happen?
Well, our New Year's like was really hectic actually. So our worship service falls on a Tuesday, and last year the last day of the year was on a Tuesday as well. So um to welcome the new year, our local had a year-end socializing right after the worship service. So everyone was there. There was a lot of food and some performances. It was so fun to just wrap up the year all together, in a church activity. But we didn't stay there up until like 12, of course, because otherwise it would have been too late. But after that, we all went to our homes, and me and my family celebrated our New Year's Eve or New Year's countdown at one of the brethren's houses, so it was just really nice to do it all together. um so shout out to the Islao family, or Ate Jonah's family and her parents. She's been on Faith and Melody a few times last year, so yeah, shout out to her and her family. And happy new year to everyone. Honestly, I hope that you also had a good celebration, or a happy and fun celebration as well. But we had like loads of food, of course, and we had some board games that we played all together, and it's just really fun because if you know my sister Arian, she's got a really distinctive laugh in a good way, and it's really contagious. So it was just like it was so fun. Like we were laughing the whole time, and yeah. What about you, KJ?
Oh, I just want to quickly ask, Sister Bell, did you see fireworks like at your midnight? Like, was there fireworks that you saw, or was it just on TV, or did you just like spend the time playing board games, anything like that?
There were fireworks. Like we didn't light them up ourselves, but like in the neighborhood there were a few fireworks, but not as much
Okay.
in like the city center, like in London by London Eye. But we were playing the TV. Like we were playing it on the TV for the countdown. So yeah, it was quite fun, but not as like the fireworks weren't as many as uh in the actual like landmark.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the same here. And the thing is, I have no idea where the people around our neighborhood got fireworks from because they don't sell fireworks in our state, right? And so there were fireworks going off like at our neighbors in the backyard. Like I'm going. I'm pretty sure this isn't like at the park or anything. It's like it sounds so close. They were going off like a few times throughout that New Year period of the evening, but for us, we mostly spent our New Year's Eve. So it's nice that you were able to spend it like, at church. You had like, the worship service lesson and so forth, and you had the brethren there. With us, we had our worship service on the Monday night, right? And New Year's Eve was on a Tuesday. We spent most of the New Year's evening, like leading up to midnight, just at home with the family, something quiet, something simple. But of course, we never take that for granted. Our brothers there in the main studio says Philippines is the best place for New Year's celebration. And Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene, I can agree with that because I know that when they were doing here on INC Radio, they were going around the world for New Year's, right? And whenever New Year started, because New Year started, I believe in Kuya Nico, I don't know if you know, but I think it was New Zealand. New Zealand was the first one to have New Year's, and then Australia, and then Philippines. I believe it was. I think that's the order because of the time zone, right? But when on INC Radio, we went all over the world. Every time it was New Year somewhere in the world, we got to see some of the brothers and sisters there. They would tune in, they would sign in, and they would play it here on radio and show some of the fireworks. So I know in the Philippines, definitely one of the best fun places to be for New Year's. For us, it was like nice, quiet place at home, and then at midnight we had our own family prayer. So you never take things for granted. Always to really just showing gratitude and saying thanks to our Almighty God through prayer, like all the things that we were blessed with this year, the things that we were able to overcome. And obviously, in this new year of 2025, entrusting everything to our Almighty God. So that's what we did for New Year's. We did have some food, right? Probably not as much as others, but there was some food there. But the next thing that I did want to ask everyone, even you, Sister Bell, what was there anything exciting is there anything exciting happening for you in this month? Like, we're pretty much in the first week ish, kind of. Is it first week? I'm not sure. Because, like,
Yeah,
the
first
new
week.
year. Okay. All right. We're in the first week of January. Is there anything exciting that you're looking forward to that's coming up in the month of January?
Well, my birthday is towards the end of the month, so I'm really
Oh,
excited.
that's right. Yes, it's the Bell's birthday at the end of the month. Keep that in mind, everyone.
And yeah, other than that, I feel like it's just since it's a reset month, And like vacation time is almost done. I'm looking forward to like yeah, my birthday, and also like the various church activities that there will be towards the end of the month. So I'm really excited for that.
That's true. That's good. I like that. Right. So everyone remember towards the end of the month, it's Sister Belle's birthday. So we'll all greet her happy birthday here on INC Radio. Let's say hello first to a few people in our live chat. Sister Belle, if you want to like give them a quick shout out, any greetings there that our Ohana in live chat are sharing.
Of course. So we have Sister Dudon Shirley saying bonjour, Faith and Melody Ohana greetings put to everyone from Petit Gove, Haiti district of Caribbean. We also have Sister Kalani, and then we also have Brother Nathaniel Russell saying good morning, Radio Fam, and we also have Brother Mario Oka saying happy watching here in the Philippines and enjoy watching po dito sa Faith and Melody. And we also have Sister Gigi Caldona, and then um we also have Sister Myrtle and saying Happy New Year, Faith and Melody Ohana. And we also have uh Sister Desasena saying gave live update of fireworks uh show in the neighborhood of LTAB. That's
Let's
quite
let's take a
cool.
break. Let's take a break for those who are playing the acronym game. But Ate Des, our sister Des is our executive producer of Faith and Melody, right? I saw that, and again, going through the time zone, I believe where Ate Des is, they're in Hawaii. She is they are the last place region that celebrates New Year. So the first one is New Zealand, Australia, Philippines, and then a whole bunch of other places that I'm not familiar with. And then the last one that celebrates that the welcoming of 2025 is actually Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken, right? I believe Hawaii is the final place where they hit midnight and they welcome 2025. It was during Let's Take a Break. I caught that. So I was tuning in every now and then during that whole New Year's 24-hour period. It was very exciting to see all the fireworks and all the excitement going on everywhere around the world of everyone welcoming in the new year of 2025. So we're very excited for all of that. Ate Isco is also there, Sister Belle. Ate Isco is there. She's saying New Year by singing alone at home. Oh, we could have all sung together, right? But I'm sure everyone was singing. But Ate Isco was singing for to celebrate the New Year. But that's nice, you know. I think my parents as well. For our family, we had because we're all separated. We're all here in Australia, but we're all far apart, right? Like my parents are all the way in the district of Western Australia. Again, one of the newer districts that was established uh, just before the end of 2024, right? It's the District of Victoria, where I'm at. And then my parents are in the District of Western Australia. And then my brother and my sister and their family, they're in the District of, I believe it's Sydney, Australia, right? District of Sydney, Australia. So we're kind of like all over the place, but we're with technology, with video calls and things like that. Now we were able to sort of say our New Year greetings, have our prayer as well as a family using video, which is really cool that we're able to do that now, right? You think about it, like maybe 10, 20 years ago, the only way to do it was through a very expensive long distance phone call. So there you go. So hopefully everyone had a nice time welcoming the new year. And if you are looking forward to something exciting in this month of January, let us know as well and we'll read that out when we come back on to talk about our topic discussion. New year, new me. We're very excited to get that underway. So with that, I think we've well and truly broken the ice. So let's move on to our musical. Before we get into our topic discussion, I'll get Sister Belle to introduce the next two INC original music that we'll be listening to. And if you do have any song requests, don't forget, let us know so that we can get that played during our Faith and Melody Heartbeat. But Sister Belle, what's the next two songs that we'll be listening to?
Before that, actually, Sister Desasena says Hawaii is actually second to last. American Samoa is the last to welcome the
Oh,
new.
really?
That's quite interesting.
Okay, okay. American Samoa is the last one to. Well, there you go. So we all learned something from this little icebreaker that we had. So thank you again to everyone that joined us in our icebreaker. So hopefully, not only have we broken the ice, we've also learned a fun fact.
Yay. But yes, let's now go on to our two songs prepared for you. The first one is entitled We Are Warriors, and the second one will be Battle Cry 2.0. Hope you enjoy.
I've severed all ties with the darkness. The rest of the world has turned so heartless. But I stand my ground regardless. All my battles thus far been the hardest. I hold it down while my heart pounds, cause I'm in the middle of the skirmish. But earnest, yes I'm earnest whenever I hear his words in worship service. So I vow with my heart to the Most High that I never let a single day go by, that I won't contend for my faith. Never ever will I slow down my pace. I'ma fight to stay in the light, keep sight in the midst of this fight. I'll preserve my right eye, from my left to my right eye. Keep my vision on my mission, it may take more than one try. I'll take that one try, even if it means dying. At least I died in the heat of the battle, and I know in my heart I defeated the shadows. I was cast on my past to sin. A place that you never ever find me in. A place that you never ever find me in. A place that you never ever find me in. So in the end of the war for my faith, I'm the one who wins.
We are warriors, fight to keep our salvation. In God's true nation. I will fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. Our warriors fight to keep our salvation. In God's true nation. I will fight for my faith. Fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. What I live for, I will die for. I will fight for what I stand for. I have been called by God to defeat these odds and conquer these mountains. Come on, with God on our side, we cannot fall. Come on, with God on our side, we cannot fall.
Our battle is about to end. I expend adrenaline so that I can win. In the back of my mind I'm remembering how Jesus predicted how life on earth will be. I felt the pain and I can show scars. My sword is not crimson, my shield is not charred. I'll fight until the final trumpet is blown. It's a signal to me that I am coming home.
What I live for, I will die for. I will fight for what I stand for. I have been called by God to defeat these odds and conquer these mountains. Come on, with God on our side, we cannot fall. Come on, with God on our side, we cannot fall. We are warriors, fight to keep our salvation. In God's true nation. I will fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. Our warriors fight to keep our salvation. In God's true nation. I will fight for my faith. Fight for my faith. I will fight for my faith. What I live for, I will die for. I will fight for what I stand for.
Welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody, and hopefully you all enjoyed that little musical break. You know, that Battle Cry 2.0 song that we just listened to, that was so fun. That was such a fun song to listen to, and hopefully that's gotten us extra excited, not just for the new year, but also for the topic that we're going to be talking about today, which is New Year, New Me, right? So since we're talking about new, everything is new, bagong bago, ang taon, right? Um, let's start off this conversation as we start this this topic in terms of everything being new. Everything's like a fresh start to the new year, a fresh start to our goals, to who we want to be, the things that we want to achieve for ourselves, for our loved ones, our family, our children, our friends, whatever it might be. Let's start off with a question: what does starting fresh what does starting fresh in this new year mean to you personally? Since, like, a lot of people, when they see a new year, it's one of those really exciting, inspiring times, right? It's like, oh, it's a nice new start for everything. So join us in a discussion and share with us your insights if you're watching us live and even on the replay there in the comment section. But over here, you got myself, your Kuya Jay, and also Sister Bell. So let's ask our Sister Bell first. For her personally, what does that mean for her? What does it mean for you, Sister Bell? Starting fresh in a new year.
For me, starting fresh means like having a mindset reset, which also leads you to more motivation throughout the year. It's just like a reset in terms of almost everything. But at the same time, you should also continue to like the good work that you have done like in the past year, of course. But mostly like when it's like the new year, people always think about um oh, I'm gonna start doing this, I'm gonna start doing that. So in terms of being able to do such things or being able to attain more things in this new year, yeah, it's just a mindset reset where you're able to, prepare yourself for the coming year. But yeah, I feel like it can vary for each person, right, Kuya? So what about you? Like, what's your perspective on this?
Well, one of the things when you take whenever a new year comes around, at least for me, it's just there's something about it that's always exciting, right? And mentally for me, what I see a new year is like it's a blank slate. It's like you get to start fresh. You get to start from not from the beginning, because you've grown, right? You've grown through the past year, you've experienced things, you've become a little bit more wiser, but you get to start another 12 months with a blank slate. At least that's what it feels like. It's almost like mentally, mentally it's the same as starting off a new book or a new chapter in your life, right? I like to think of the idea of a new book first, right? If you have a collection of book and each book on your library is a year of your life, you've just picked up a brand new book and you're going to write your new story. It's basically you're creating a whole new story or a new book that you're going to put there in your catalog of the life of Sister Bell or the life of Kuya J, right? And each book is a year of your life. So it's got that nice refresh to it that you can try a different approach. You can become the next version of yourself. So that's the thing that I like about a new year. Is like whatever you've gone through in the past year, you've learned from that. You've experienced it. You should have analyzed it in some way and you've adapted or grown as a person because of those challenges and mistakes in the past. So that this new story, this new part of your collection, your novel, if you will, right, of your life, of the new book that you're going to be writing, it's it's something new. It's something exciting. It's like what's going to happen? What's the story? What's the adventure that's going to happen this year, which you never know until you start writing that. So that's what I like to see. That's how I see a fresh start in the new year. It's like picking up a brand new book to write the new story of your life. So with that, as we talked about, like, us looking back and learning from our past disappointments, past mistakes that we've made, the next thing that we do want to find out as well is how do you let go of those disappointments? Like, what do you do to take away those disappointments so that you can make way for the new opportunities that's going to come in this new year? Because you never know what the opportunities are. You never know what the new adventures are exactly, the new challenges. But to make way for all of those and let go of the disappointments, the past disappointments that you've made of 2024, what do you do personally to let go of those things or to learn from it? Before we start sort of sharing our insights on that, we'll give time for our live chat. But let's read. I can already see a couple of our Ohana in live chat sharing a few things. Who's there right now, Sister Bell?
We would like to firstly greet Sister Zenaida Novister saying Happy New Year, Ohana, Faith, and Melody. Greetings from Midtown Toronto, District of Greater Toronto, Canada. And we also have Sister Lani saying Hello po, Faith, and Melody, Ohana. And yes, in Team Live Chat, they also shared here, Brother Nathaniel said, You reflect on the previous year and decide to take a new approach to the year. And Sister Isco said, Be calmer, be warm. So, yeah, both of them radiate a lot of positivity in terms of, approaching and the new year and, getting ready for the new year. So, I feel like, um, as you said, Kuya J, it's the start of a new book. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a start a new book, right? Like how when there's a few stories out there. Not gonna mention any names, but there's a few adventure stories out there where there's different chapters, and even sometimes they divide those chapters into movies. You end up with 6 movies, but 5 books, if you know what I mean. But in terms of your life, right? Each chapter of your life, I feel like it's a new book because you learn new things, you grow as a person, and at the end of that book, right, there's always a key takeaway that you've learned from that past year that you carry on to the next year, right? So with that, I can already see a few of our Ohana, their insights, their comments are coming in regarding this part on how do you let go of your disappointments? Like, what do you do of those disappointments that you've had in the past 12 months, right? Past in 2024, what do you do with those, right? How do you use it or what do you do with it so that you can make way for the new opportunities and the new adventure that you're going to have in 2025. I want to hear your thoughts first, Sister Bell.
Well, like we're only humans, right? So there are times where, you know, we're not perfect. And when a disappointments, like when we have disappointments or like mistakes, I feel like yeah, we should acknowledge those of course, because like we're humans, and then try to make that disappointment into a lesson, or don't dwell too much on those mistakes or disappointments, because sometimes you know, if you don't try to look at the positive side of those disappointments, those mistakes, those problems, you won't be able to get through them, because you're just going to be stuck thinking about how negatively it impacted you. But if you're able to approach it in a more positive way, in a more um, in a more less harming way to yourself emotionally, I feel like you'll be able to find resolve. Because if we keep on dwelling on the mistakes, we're gonna get stuck. So if we are able to find resolve and try to, you know, accept how the situation is, and try to, you know, do the best that we can to make make up for it, or if it's not on our side, try to, you know, see the brighter side of things, um, we'll be able to find better ways to deal with not only that problem, but also in the future, like the future problems or the future disappointments or the future troubles that we get into. It's just really important to, you know, try to be calmer, like as Sister Isco said there in Team Live Chat earlier. Be calmer, be warmer. I mean, life is already hard on its own. Sometimes it's just, you know, uh, it's okay not to feel our very best every day, because, as I said, we're only humans. But, you know, when it comes to trying to let go of the disappointments, we should always look forward to the greater things that the future holds for us. Because, you know, as Christians, our Almighty God is always there for us. And we've been instructed, like, you know, through worship services and while we grew up, that we should always rejoice when it comes to adversities and sad moments. So, what better way for us to, you know, get through those than with the help of God? So, also being prayerful is really important when it comes to our problems in life. But yes, if you're able to, you know, incorporate such positive things into those um, not so positive or maybe negative thoughts or disappointments that you have, yeah, you'll be able to get through the year, or even like other adversities that are much bigger than the one that you are going through right now. So yeah, I feel like it's easier said than done, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
uh, I mean, if you're more, if you're prayerful every day, then you'll get stronger every day. So if you work on something every day, then you'll be better at it every day. So if you're able to be calmer, to find resolve every day in those negative situations, then you'll be able to uh, take on bigger things in life.
Yeah, I just want to add on, sorry, add on to what you said. Like, it's very important that we include prayer when it comes to getting past those disappointments of the past, because there are, you know, people that we know, and maybe it might even be ourselves, that has a hard time letting go of the disappointments that we've experienced. I know that when I was younger, I've had that issue where you just can't let go of it, right? It happened so long ago, but it's still weighing you down. It's still like eating you up internally, that you didn't get what you wanted, or you weren't able to achieve something that you were really working towards, right? Just that sometimes there are certain disappointments in life that can really gnaw at you, and just it sticks with you forever, right? It's like it's hard to get through it sometimes, especially if you don't know the skills yet on how to work through those disappointments and look past it. So it's very important that we always include, especially in those moments when we don't know what to do. Great reminder, Atiba, what you mentioned, that we always include prayer, and we always include our Almighty God in everything, right? Not just in what we want to achieve, but also what we're feeling and what we're experiencing to give us whatever it is that we need, whether that be, bravery, courage, understanding to overcome that feeling, right? That feeling, that emotion of disappointment, so that it doesn't hold us back. Because one thing that I've experienced personally when I hold on to disappointments in the past is that later on down the track, it's something that changes your perspective, right? And the term that I've heard used that actually explained it really well when I and then helped me realize that, oh, okay, it was because I'm holding on to disappointment that I've developed this internal limiting belief. I don't know if anyone else out there or Atibel, if you've ever heard of the term of limiting belief. It's something that it's like it's something that you believe about yourself that limits your capacity, your capability to do something, to achieve something, because you are telling yourself that you're not capable enough, you're not good enough because of this experience that happened to you 5 years ago. And it's just stuck with you and you just haven't let it go. And it's changed your character thinking, oh, because I was disappointed when I tried it back then, that, oh, that must mean that I don't have the capability to do anything like that, right? As I grow up, as I go through my journey in this world. So that's one thing that you got to be careful of. That's why we really need our Almighty God to help us to overcome those disappointments so that they don't end up becoming I think that the term I'm pretty sure is called the limiting belief, right? Like it limits, it's a belief that limits your capability to do something. And it's not something that anyone might have said. It's something that you just have internally dialogue to yourself saying that you are not capable enough or not worthy enough to achieve that. So that limits you, right? So you have to make sure that you overcome that so that you can take on the new challenges. So for me, one of those things is reflecting on the lesson. Every single mistake, every single disappointment, there is a lesson to be learned from it, right? That's why, for me personally, I love constructive criticism, especially if even if I think I did well, I want to know on what area I could have done better, right? Just to know where to improve, because that's where I see an area for growth is when somebody, or even if you can do it yourself internally and learn from the lesson. What could I have done better? And what can I implement so that I can improve with that? If it's a speaking skill, especially with what we do here on radio, it's taking the time to go back and watch the original broadcast, for example, and listen to yourself and critique yourself to the point that, okay, how can I improve my skill here? Right. And you can do that with anything, even in relationships, right? Especially it's a new year, everyone, right? It's 2025. How did you manage? How did you what actions did you take that made an impact to the relationships that was important to you in 2024? And then what can you do to improve on that this year, right? Do you need to be more present? Do you need to be more intentional on developing those friendships, those relationships, that connection with your friends, with your spouse, with your children, with your loved ones? Like it's one of those things that you can work on if you pay attention to it. So that's why it's very important that if there are disappointments that have come, you learn the lessons, right? You learn the lesson so that you can grow from that lesson and not make it you see the mistake and you only focus on the mistake, and then give it enough time and it's going to end up becoming a self-limiting belief that it'll limit yourself on what you are capable of. You might think that you can't love any more than what you were able to do right now, that you can't have any more patience than what you have right now, that you can't have any more stronger faith than what you have right now, right? You don't want a self-limiting belief to do that. That's why prayer is very important. I love that you brought that up, Sister Bell. But I also see a lot of great insights from our Ohana. So let me be quiet for a minute. I'll pass it over to Sister Bell, And just let's read some of this because these are amazing comments from our Ohana there in live chat. So Sister Bell, go ahead.
We have here Sister Tony Rose Valenzuela saying, "Don't discount the disappointments. They're natural parts of the process and teach you about yourself, but don't let them dictate your moves or make you lose control of your bearings." And I feel like that's true. Like, you know how we're always saying trust the process, but sometimes, it's not gonna be linear most of the time that we're going through something. But yes, thank you for that, Sister Tony. And Sister Cole also said that just have a sound mind, good intentions, be honest, yet be kind, always reflect, and be open to corrections. And Brother Nathaniel Russell said, know that God is still with you. And in His grace, He gave you an opportunity for a better year. Don't take that grace for granted. And that's really um on point what you said, Brother Nathaniel. As Christians, it's always important to, you know, include God in everything. And He's the one who always has given us our life and our strength up until today. So I like how you said that we shouldn't be taking for granted God's grace. And Sister Tony Rose says also, wake ups are reassurances of grace and more opportunity. But yes, I feel like, um, with this new year, new me spirit, I feel like what has been mentioned so far is just it really makes you think that like it makes you realize that you know uh God is good, and without Him we wouldn't have been able to get through last year or the past years without Him. And KJ, when you said about not having a limiting belief, I feel like we sometimes, like, we subconsciously do it. Like, it's like it's a form of self-sabotaging in a way where you're like, oh no, this is my niche. I'll just stay in this comfort zone of mine. But most of the time you'll never know up until you do it. And maybe you'll even like find new hobbies, find new talents that you would like to pursue. And that's like, and I feel like with this new year new me, it's a great way to start the year where you're like not afraid to pursue new things in life, because sometimes our comfort zone limits us, like in a way where, oh, I'm good with this, I feel like I'm satisfied. And we're not saying that you shouldn't be happy with what you have, of course, but sometimes we don't see our own potential when we think about uh, you know when we think those things about ourselves, where we're like, oh, I'm not good enough in this, I don't think that's my thing. But yeah, I feel like if now and then you're able to get out of your comfort zone to explore more things, such as hobbies or even cities or countries, then you'll be able to, um, get more life out of like the year, like feel more livelier throughout the year, right, KJ?
Yes, no, that's very, very true. And I love what everyone has been sharing regarding this. We've really just started our conversation on a new year, new me. But it's really, I hope that, for me personally, from what everyone, but Ate Tony, Ate Isco, Kuya Nathan have been sharing, it's really helped us to open up our perspective more, our eyes, open our eyes more, and see that there is opportunity there. There is areas for us so that we can get out of our comfort zone. But sometimes the thing that might be holding us back is not anyone or anything but ourselves, right? Because of that self limiting belief. So that's why we always need our Almighty God to help us to overcome sometimes our own self, overcome us, overcome the things that we think is not possible, because we know that with God, anything is possible. And with that, we have a lot more to talk about. So we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but let's move on, Ate Belle. I'll pass it over to you to introduce our next musical songs. And I believe we've got Ate Zenny's song request ready as well.
Yes, so we will be going now on to our Faith and Melody Heartbeats with the first song, which is requested by Ate Zenaida, which is Handpicked. And the second song will be Ako'y Maghihintay sa iyong pagliligtas. And I hope that you'll enjoy this musical break, and we'll be right back with our topic discussion.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
Mga kapatid, ingatan na natin ang ating pagkaiglesia ni Kristo. Huwag na tayong bumitiw sa kahalalang ito na ating tinanggap mula sa ating Panginoong Diyos. Gustong-gusto ng ating Panginoong Diyos na tayo ay Kanyang makitang makarating doon sa piling niya sa araw ng paghukom. Wala isa man sa atin ang maiwan sa daan ng kaligtasan.
We'll never know everything that goes on, the sacrifices you're making for us, and selfishly that we know for sure. You may not know us by name, that's okay. Thoughtful prayers are made for us countlessly that we know for sure. We're always in your heart and mind. You desire none will be left behind. We may not know your grief and pain. All we know is you'll do anything for us. A proof of God's love is He gave us you and placed us within your care. God knows your heart, so He gave us you. Day in, day out, you fight for us. You would not even hesitate, you would give your life for us. You truly are handpicked by God. You teach us to endure and wait patiently. God, wipe your tears away, no more sufferings. That day will come. We pray to God and never leave you alone, even for a moment, because we need you to lead us home to our true home. We're always in your heart
laging nasa iyo. Pagsubok man ay dumating, sa tulong mo ay handa kong harapin. Mga kabiguan man ay tanasin ko, ang tiwala ko'y laan lamang sa'yo. Ang puso ay mamighati, ako'y mananatili na sa'yo pa rin. Pumapatak ang luha ko sa hapis kong nadarama. Ngunit ang aking katapat ay hindi magbabago. Ako'y sa'yo, ang buhay ko'y handog na sa'yo, Ama. Kaya ako'y maghihintay sa iyong pagliligtas. Ang iyong pag-ibig ay tama sa aking buhay, kaya ikaw ay paglilingkuran hanggang wakas. Mga kabiguan man ay danasin ko, ang tiwala ko'y laan lamang sa iyo. Ang puso may mamighati, ako'y mananatili na sa'yo pa rin. Mapatak ang luha ko sa hapis kong nagdarama. Ngunit ang aking katapat ay hindi magbabago. Ako'y sa'yo, ang buhay ko'y handog na sa'yo, Ama. Kaya ako'y maghihintay sa iyong pagliligtas. Ang iyong pag-ibig ay tama sa aking buhay, kaya ikaw ay paglilingkuran hanggang wakas. Ito na umaasa sa iyong pangako, na ang utang ng buhay ay aking kakamtan. Pagsabi doon sa bayang banal, ako'y maghihintay, ako'y maghihintay sa iyong pagliligtas. Pag-ibig ay tama sa aking buhay, kaya ikaw ay paglilingkuran hanggang
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
And that was handpicked a song requested by Sister Zenaida Novisteras, and the second one was Ako'y Maghihintay sa iyong pagliligtas. If you would like to listen to more INC original music, just hop onto YouTube on the INC Original Music channel, as well as the Iglesia Ni Cristo Production Company channel. And we also have the INC playlist mobile application, which is suitable for both iOS and Android users. But now INC Original Music, it's also on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, you can also listen from there, which is very much accessible. But yes, since earlier we talked about, starting a fresh year, a new year, and how we talked about, um, the various disappointments that we should have we should let go of, and how we should let go of like those negative thoughts and the negativity from last year. What are some personal goals that um, you would like to accomplish this year, that you've set for this year, KJ?
This part I'm very excited, right? Since I know that for many of us, the year has just started, but it doesn't mean that we don't already have some goals that we've set. And it doesn't mean that later on in the year that there'll be some new goals that will come up that we want to achieve, right? That's just how life goes. Like if I read back on all the different books of my life, like that's always how it's been. You don't always set one goal at the beginning of the year and that's all you do for the rest of the year. Goals are dynamic. They change, they can adapt, and then there could be some new goals that pop up as well. So it's very, very important. With that, I want to read Ate Isko's last comment from our previous discussion because it was really, really nice. And it ties in nicely as well with what I was going to talk about. When she says here, from Ate Isko, honestly, I just really try to make the most of the little things I have. Be content with what you have. Work hard for what you don't have and accept there are things that you can't have. Like I think that is very, very relatable. I totally agree with that in terms of, there are definitely things that doesn't align with our values that we can't have. But then, of course, there are things that we want to have in life and we should work hard for those. So goals are important, habits are important. And there is like so much that we could talk about that our 2 hour show probably won't be enough. So we'll only share a couple of things. And I was looking back and I was thinking about, the different things. I've got here written down just as a reminder for me, health, right? And whenever I say health in terms of gauging that, it's got to do with not just physical health, but also your mental well-being, your mental health, and also your spiritual health. That's very, very important, especially for us members of the Church of Christ. Relationships, right? Goals for your relationships and even your career. One thing that I'll talk about now, because otherwise we'll run out of time. Decluttering is one of my goals for this year, right? I've mentioned this before, but it's really something that I've been really into since towards the end of December and moving into 2025. It's something that we're doing as a household, so not just me, but also with my wife and our daughter in a way. She's cluttering, we're decluttering. But basically decluttering not just the environment, not just like the things that we have around the house, but also for me, mental decluttering. Things that take up space and kind of like makes you feel overwhelmed when there's too much things going on, right? Like it's when you walk into a messy room and you want to be productive and you don't know where anything is, right? It's kind of like that same feeling, but mentally, like in your head, like there's so much things that is going on that you don't know where to start and you don't know where to get the energy from, or even for me, the inspiration from, right? A lot of the work that we do requires creativity, it requires inspiration. And sometimes when there are too much things going on and too much responsibilities that's pulling you in all different sorts of directions, it's hard to find that. So I want one of my main goals is to declutter my life, not just the space around me, but also mentally declutter. So that comes in the form of one of them would be really sticking healthy boundaries, like actually setting and sticking to healthy boundaries and know where you need to draw the line. Because if you go past that, right, and the only one that makes the choice is you, right? So you have to remember that you're the one that makes the choice. So if you've set a boundary for yourself that this is the space that you need for your family, this is the space that you need for your church duties, for your spiritual well-being, right? This for your health. And if you overstep that with work, with deadlines, with careers, with other people's, with negative news and things like that that you might be bombarded with social media and internet in general, right? If you overstep that, you know that it's going to impact in a negative way the other things that are more important to you. So I want to just declutter that so that you can think faster, you can think more clearly, and things make sense when everything is just kept simple, right? I have a tendency to overthink. I have a tendency to overcomplicate simple things. And that generally comes from me trying to work with so many different things like, oh, maybe if I do this, and then if I do this, and then I add this on, it just gets, once you do too much, the simple things can get complicated. At least that's what I found for me. So I want to declutter. And the second thing that I'll share here, because again, I have a lot of different goals in different areas of my life. The other one, apart from decluttering, because that kind of like overarches everything, right? Um, I've written down here a life audit, right? I don't know how many of us take a time each month to audit how our life is going. Like, how's your life? Like, how are you? Right? How's your health, your well-being? How's your spiritual well-being? How's your relationships going? Whether that's with your parents, with your spouse, with your loved ones, with your family, with your friends. Like, have you been neglecting your friends because you've given too much more of your time in work, in your career, or like actually writing it down, whatever works for you, because for each person this is different, right? So whatever it is in your career, in your spiritual health, in your mental health, your physical health, your relationships, and the things that brings you peace, that makes you happy, that makes you happy in this life. We talked about this just towards the end of 2024 on the Monday episode. Like, what makes you happy? What brings you that sense of joy, that sense of feeling fulfilled, like you actually have meaning in your life? And how do you have more of that? Like, write it down, engage it once a month, audit your life, and ask yourself, how is your work going? How are your relationships going? And I think this is something that you only do to yourself. Like, you give it to yourself. You don't let anybody else in on your numbering or your grading, if you will, right? On how you grade those parts of your life to see how you're going along. It's one of those things that one of my goals, because I've heard of the concept, but I've never really applied it on just being able to keep track of how life is going, because life happens so fast, and before you know it, we're probably going to be in March, and before you know it, it's going to be July, and then before you know it, it's almost the end of the year, right? That's how quickly life can go. So decluttering, life audit, those are my two goals, without getting into too much detail with anything. Sister Bell, how about you? What are some of your personal goals that you've set so far, right? So far for this year?
I feel like with what you mentioned about um setting boundaries, it's such a great start, um because you know how sometimes I feel like we say yes to everything, and sometimes when you multitask and everything gets mixed up, and you don't find a place or a time to do certain things the right way, in a way where you're like, oh, I can focus on one thing only. But when like life throws a lot of things at you all at the same time, it's just harder. So I like that you mentioned about setting boundaries and the decluttering, not only physical but also mental. And the life audit, really, like, I didn't know that you called it like that, first of all. But yes, it's something new to me. But I've been like journaling and all of that. So I think that's all, that also counts as life audit. And I feel like, uh as you mentioned, that is just like every month you can keep track of your like emotional being, of your being like in a more focused way, instead of doing it like just whenever you have the time. And I feel like it's just much more like you'll feel more at ease, or you'll know more about yourself as well if you do it in a monthly way, where you're like, oh, actually, this and that happened, like, oh, I handled the situation much more better than last year. So yeah, I feel like it's such a great thing to, uh do, Kuya J. So that's such a great advice that you just said. And I feel like for me, um one of the goals that I've set this year already was to film more and edit more, like just overall be more creative with my like with my skills. And I have this social media account that was created just like for my creative content, and all that related stuff like photography and editing. But I just realized that, like, not just realized, but I realized like towards the end of the year that I was like, oh, it's been a year since I posted this video, and it's been a year since I posted that picture. So like I was just like going back through I was going through those content videos or pictures that I posted uh last year, and I was like, wow, it's been too long from when I created um a video. So yeah, I feel like this year I would like to create more, be more creative, and also maybe like try to incorporate a more like healthy fitted lifestyle. um I feel like since I moved houses, I don't have like my motivation has gone a bit down in a way where I'm like, oh, the park is much further away from me. I can't I can't go on a stroll as much as I would like to as before, or my bike broke last year. So yeah, I was actually, I don't know if it was last year or like, I feel like it's 2 years ago now. It's 2025. But yes, um um I need to look for another bike because I can't I can't keep like saying that my bike broke and it's been 2 years already. So yes, hopefully um I'll find a new bike this year and more time to ride my bike and like have strolls in the park, and more like sports related stuff like volleyball, for Unity games. But yes, I feel like overall is like more on the creative side for me, and um more healthy fitness or sports. But yes, I feel like um I would like more of that in my life throughout not only this year but like in the years to come as well, J. And I feel like oh, were you about to say something? Sorry.
No, no, like I was just not really. I was just gonna like add on to what you said about the whole fitness thing because I think everyone, even though I never mentioned it, like I do also have like a fitness goal, and I'm sure everyone at the beginning of the year has a fitness goal. I just read a couple of comments as well. Kuya Nathaniel Russell, one of his goals is drop weight, and also they're updating the South Central State Studio, right? For their satellite studio, they're updating it. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see the new update to their studio. And at the ISCO, she also says here, close connections and joining choir, right? So I think that's one of her goals, which is definitely, a very blessed goal, something that's really worthwhile to aim for, to work towards, to join the choir. But definitely one of those things that, for those of us that may be looking at, taking on a duty, it's definitely something that should be in the top of our priority list, right? Because there's just so much work to do and so much time that we can devote to our Almighty God because of the skills that He's given us. And that's the thing that I've also understood is that there's so much areas, especially when it comes to duties in the church that we can take on. But we also shouldn't forget that there are many, many of us, right? They say many hands make light work. I think that's the saying, right? So basically, the more of us that can help in something, the lighter the workload is going to be. So don't, like, for me, I don't want to take on like all of the work because that would mean that somebody else may not be able to help out, right? You just share the load around, and it's going to make that workload a lot easier to do and more people, and it's going to be more fun. It's going to be more fun if you have more people working together with that. So I just want to ask as well, um, how do you plan to stay motivated, towards that goal, right? All of these things, working on your goals, developing new habits, all of these are long-term changes. They don't happen overnight. You don't set a goal and achieve it overnight most of the time, right? Like goals, habits, they all take time for you to achieve. So what's your plan to stay motivated? Because that's the hardest thing. Many people sign up to go to the gym at the beginning of the year. They go for a couple of weeks and then they don't go anymore, right? So they just drop off because all of these other excuses come up. So, what's your way to stay motivated, to keep on going, to push through towards those long-term changes? Sister Bell.
Like in my creative side, um I feel like it's like to come up with more ideas and like just write them down or like create mood boards or vision boards in terms of like the creative ideas. And um like in terms of like generally, if you track your progress, you'll see visually that you've gone so far or you've done a lot. So yeah, I feel like uh tracking down or like putting down like writing it down, it'll make it easier for you, so you also know like how to um stay on track of things, and to-do lists and all that stuff, like whatever works for you. um as long as you see your progress, then you'll feel even more motivated. But what about you, Kriya?
I, Well, it kind of like it adds on to it basically is an extension of what you just said of tracking your progress. When I mentioned earlier, one of my goals was like a monthly life audit. For me, I would write down the most important things or goals in my life, right? When it comes, my most important goals for my physical health, my spiritual health, the relationships that I have in my life. So that'll be with my spouse and also with our daughter. For me personally, right? Like something that brings me fulfillment and joy, and basically grade those each month, right? I think that's one of my goals, but also it not only is it a goal to kind of like audit how life is going so far on a monthly basis, but that will allow you to also remain motivated on all those little goals that you've set for yourself, right? That's why I like to call it a life audit. That's just some personal thing that I've said, but whatever you want to call it, basically just find out like how life is going, right? And you do that each month. You have to find the time each month. I think it's something that you just do for yourself, because at least that way you can be completely honest, right? If you're gonna make up the grades and say, "Oh, my relationships are like a number 10," it's like really top on the scale, right? Uh, but then you know that there's some work there. Like you're only kidding yourself, right? So you just keep it to yourself because at least you can be completely transparent, completely honest, right? And if you're going to lie, you're only lying to yourself. So that's why it's gonna be like a completely honest review that you just keep for you. So that's one way that helps me, that I think will help me to stay motivated this year to achieve those goals. One of the ones that I'm really working towards, I think many of our Ohana and live chat have been saying it, is got to do with exercising, right? Exercising or dropping weight or basically being healthy in the new year. Again, if you're going to sign up to a gym, how are you going to stay motivated to you go every single week, right? And you don't just drop off after a month, because that happened to it happened to me. It happened to me, right? It's like you sign up for a year's membership at the gym, and then come February or March, you start like not showing up and maybe only attending once a month. And then by the time it's April, it's like, oh, you don't go anymore, right? So it's like a waste. So maybe you can share some tips on how you stay motivated that way. But I think one of the ways to stay motivated is to have accountability, right? To have someone that will hold you accountable. So whether that's your partner, your spouse, or your friends, someone that you can sort of, it's always nice to work towards a goal together, right? Even if you're not physically together, but like you sort of touch base. Many of us have our own personal chats with our close friends, right? It's nice to be able to celebrate that with each other, and as we work towards our goal, because we can also encourage each other in achieving those, right? So the other thing as well, in terms of staying motivated, is sometimes when you look at your goal, you look at the end result, and that overwhelms you already. So always try to look at kind of like a part of the lyrics of our Faith and Melody opening song. Look at the baby steps, right? Don't forget that you can break things down into baby steps, into smaller steps, and work towards the goal that way, so that you don't become overwhelmed. Like, oh, my end result is this, right? And then that overwhelms you already, and all the work that you have to do to achieve that. Whereas if you only think about, oh, okay, my next end goal is just this little bit, this little baby step right here, it makes it less overwhelming mentally to think about it when you look at it with smaller steps. But with that,
Yes, I
yes, go
I
ahead, Sister Bell.
I really agree with that. Um, Slow progress is still progress. And here, Sister School also said, um, like she mentioned, focus on important things, don't take too much. But she also said, one step at a time. Take the chance to make a choice so your life will change actually, and will change. And she also said, actually, just talking to someone who gives me that boost motivates me, like you guys. So we're so glad that it, you know, our topic discussion or our show in general like brings so much inspiration to you, and not only to Sister School but also to our listeners in general. Thank you so much for your support. And Sister Zenaida also said, goal this year: maintain healthy weight, exercise more often, and to be strong. And then she also said to learn something new. And Sister Melvi Tamaya said, be more consistent in all the simple and practical goals I've set for myself this year. I've written them one by one and hope to achieve them all this year. And that's really great, Sister Melvi. And yes, we're also rooting for you. We're all on the same page in terms of this. But yes, um, KJ, I feel like this topic discussion so far has only brought even more inspiration and motivation at the beginning of the year. And also, Sister Zenaida said here, stay motivated with my friends and with Ohana, Faith and Melody. And then Sister Melvi Tamaya said, I've set an alarm, like my alarm for 5 days a week, and mark my calendar. When I fail to do so, my jar takes $5 from me. At the end of the year, I'll see if I get more fit or have more money.
I like that. That's cool. I like that, Dr. Melby. So yeah, that's one way to do it. There you go. But with that, so we love all the goal sharing. I think we can talk about goals and how we're going to try and achieve them and all of that stuff for more than 2 hours of the show, right? So I love it. What everyone has shared so far. We do still have more to talk about, right? But before we get into that part of our discussion, let's take a quick musical break. This next INC original music that we'll be listening to is titled I Will Keep on Fighting for My Faith. So don't go anywhere, Faith and Melody. We'll be right back after this.
I keep on fighting and I keep on fighting. I keep on fighting and I keep I'll keep swinging and keep my fire burning. I may take blows, but that's the cost of winning. The devil roams around like a hungry roaring lion. I stay alert to win this one for Zion. Cause this is a war, there ain't time to waste. This ain't no stroll, this life's a race. It's like it's game day, time to wear my game face. But wait, this ain't no game, this here is my fate. I won't draw back, no, I won't go down. I won't stop, won't quit, won't ever let go. Hey, even if it's hard, whatever comes my way, I will always keep on fighting. I will always keep on fighting for my faith, for my faith, for my faith, yeah. I will always keep on
Welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And we are talking, our topic today has been New Year, New Me. We've been talking about what it means that we are able to have a blank slate, a new start to the new year. But also, we've been sharing some of the goals. I'd love some of the motivational tips that our Ohana in live chat have been sharing as well, and some of the goals that we've shared here on the show. But one of the things that we shouldn't fail to talk about as well is that when we are working towards building new habits, building or working towards our goals and the things that we want to achieve this year of 2025, not everything is going to go smooth sailing. There's always going to be some challenges that comes up. We might experience setbacks, right? We're working towards something and there's a huge obstacle or challenge that comes in our way that, sets us back a couple of steps. And for some, that might become very discouraging. So we want to know, like, how are you planning? And obviously in the past year as well, we have also experienced setbacks and challenges back then. So this year in 2025, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to handle setbacks when you're working towards your goals or maybe the new habits that you want to build for yourself? Like going to the gym, that might be a new habit, or because one of your goals is to lose weight, right? Sister Belle, she mentioned about trying to be more creative, right? But there's always going to be setbacks that comes in our way. So Sister Belle, for you, like, what are you planning to do differently this year that is going to help you handle your setbacks when you're working towards all the new goals and habits you've got planned?
I feel like maybe like set a certain day or time at least once a week where I just log in and focus on just like that one project or one video, uh like for my personal creativeness. I feel like, and also like in general, like when you are taking on to something, um and you are facing setbacks, or there are so many excuses that you can make. I was like, oh yeah, just do tomorrow. Oh no, it's raining, I'll just go to the park another day, or gym another day. Oh no, I just don't feel like it today. I feel like we need to be more patient with ourselves, of course, but also like try to discipline ourselves in a way where, if I don't get this done today, then when? Like you're just gonna start wondering, if I don't start now, then when? And when it comes to starting a new habit or starting a new routine, we need to be consistent with that. And uh, if you're being patient with yourself, and you're gentle with your thoughts, and you don't like push yourself to the point where you don't like what you're doing anymore, then you know your limits, but you also know your potential. So it's just really good if, you know, um, you try your best to visualize your goal and visualize how you want to be after you've achieved or you kept being consistent with that matter, because at the end of the day, like we all say we want to be fit, but then it's not something that you just reach. Like you need to work on it every day. It's nonstop. um and it's not only like physical exercise, it comes with like your mindset as well, of course, and your intake, what you eat, what you drink. So yeah, it's just really important in general, like to um be self-aware and be more patient with yourself, especially because we're only humans. And um try to um set yourself up for success, where you're like, for example, if you're not a morning person but you're a night owl like me, you can prepare your stuff like in the evening or at night before you go to sleep. And then instead of saying to yourself, oh, I'll do it tomorrow morning, because most of the time, like, you feel like really tired in the morning, and that already like slows you down, or like in your routine in the morning. I feel like if you do it, if you prepare your stuff in the like at night right before you sleep, then you already set yourself up for success for the next day. And that is already a huge difference then from waking up early in the morning feeling cranky, or like just snoozing your alarm, and then like having to rush in the morning, and you already didn't enjoy your morning because like you felt really pressured or rushed, or yeah, you're just like not a morning person. So if you know yourself in that way, or like you know you try to find ways to uh ease or help yourself in terms of like those small little things that you need to take care of, like on a day-to-day basis, or right before you need to do something for your certain goal, then that's already like a lot. And yes, I feel like it's just a matter of how you want to do it, of course, and what goal that you're working on, of course, because everyone like has a different way of like doing things. So whatever works for you, then you'll be able to get through those setbacks.
The thing I wanted to add on there, Adibel, let's say one of your goals is like to find a bike so that you can go back bike riding more. But let's say you find your bike, right? You get a new bike, and a month goes past, and you weren't able to find time to go on a bike ride. That's a setback, right? Because one of your goals is so that you can go to the park more and whatever else, and go on a bike ride. But then things get busy. The weather's not good. You're tired from work. You get called in here, and you just can't find the time. And then a month goes past, and it's a whole new month again, and you weren't able to even touch the bike, and it's just sitting there in the garage or whatever, just collecting dust, right? That's a setback, right? Is that going to, for you personally, if that happened to you after you've spent money on this bike and you haven't ridden it yet, after a month, like is that setback going to demotivate you, or are you going to be more inspired to make more time the following month? Like how are you going to handle that?
Mm, Depending on the situation, I feel like um it'll make me realize that, oh, I made so much time for things that I mean are important, but sometimes like we forget to make things to make time for things that we like or that genuinely makes us happy, even like the most simple things in life. So you're like, oh, I was able to make a lot of time for other things that maybe I can squeeze in like an hour ish of that, or like even half an hour of that. Like it's a matter of prioritization in terms of that. It'll make me realize that, oh, if I want to, then I can and I
Mm.
would. So, I mean, depending on the situation, of course, each month. But of course, at first, it'll feel like, oh, but I haven't done it like last month, then I will need to do it this month. Like, it really depends. But, like, I feel like those are just stages in terms of that. And, uh, as long as I'd be able to like squeeze time at least like every 2 weeks just to use the bike, then I'd be more than happy. But then I have to make time for that, but not in a way where it feels like, oh, I need to make time for this when like you feel like you don't have the time. I feel like you should make more time to also squeeze in the things that make you happy. So yeah, that it'll be like a wake up call to me saying, "Oh, you haven't done enough of what makes you happy, or you haven't done enough of your creative side." So yeah, I feel like it's just more of a realization that will hit me
Yeah.
when I realize that I haven't used the bike uh,
Yeah.
in such a long time.
And I think that's kind of like why I decided that one of my goals this year is to do a monthly audit of my life, like the core important values that's important to me, right? And one of them is health for me. You know, I got like relationships and spiritual and also health. And so my health goals will be there, and then I would audit myself, like, am I happy with my life on the goal that I've set for my spiritual health, my physical health, my, creativity, for like we use Sister Bell, right? Because if you don't make the time to sort of like take like 30 minutes out of your day once a month, right? Just to audit those important things, just those ones, then 3 months can go by out the window, and you haven't realized that you haven't been fulfilling uh your goals for your relationships, and you've kind of like been neglecting your friends, or you've been kind of like neglecting this and that, right? So it's kind of like it's nice to be able to do that, as I said. If you experience setbacks, or if you're experiencing not enough momentum, one thing that was written there, I think Isco shared this: surround myself with people or activities at the church, because that's, I think, a great way when you experience a setback, or you experience like an obstacle that gets in the way of your goal, or the habit you want to develop, is if you have supportive people, if you have people that cheer you on, the people that kind of like, you're trying to lose weight, but then you ate that piece of cake, and they say, you know what, that's one piece of cake, I'll go for a run with you tomorrow. Right? And they're supporting you in some way. They might not go on the run for you. It's like, I'll stay on the phone with you while you go on the run, and I'll ride on the bike, or something like that, right? Sister Bell will ride on the bike and say, KJ, you go for a run because you ate that cake, right? And that's going to meet your goals. So then we're like, doing, we're achieving two things in one time. So having the right people that encourages you, that supports you, that when you make a mistake, they're there to say, hey, let's see if I can help you in some way to, to get back on track. But most importantly, praying to our Almighty God, especially if it's something that's very, very important. Like, for example, one of your spiritual goals that you've set for yourself, right? You want to like take up a new duty, or you want to like, be closer to God in some way, like to have the right people there in your life to support you. But then if there is something that comes up that makes it like a setback, or you kind of fall short a little bit, never forget that we have our Almighty God that we can pray to. And again, we can ask our Almighty God for guidance and also for strength to get back on track, right? So that we can overcome those things. So, there's a few things there. I'll give a chance for Sister Bell just to read out a couple of the comments as well that our Rohan has been sharing.
Sister Isco said, surround myself with people or activities at the church. And as you just mentioned, KJ, it is much better or much more effective for you to have a friendly environment or the right people around you. And Sister Zenaida said, setbacks on the way will inspire and motivate me more, but I should be prepared no matter what. And Sister Malvi said, when I face setbacks, I shake it off, let go of what I can't control, and reset. I have developed a thinking called mindset over age and over excuses. Of course, also by praying and asking God's help. And Sister Desacenas also said, stop for a moment, reassess the situation, uh, the okays, revise the
Occasion. I think occasion.
occasion, sorry, the occasion if needed, and just go. Don't listen to haters. And Sister Malvi also mentioned we need to learn to accept challenges, including setbacks, as opportunities because sometimes we don't get what we want. On the other hand, value time because one we can it's the only one we can never take back. And that's really true because, you know, as Christians, we've always been told to, stay strong and to always rejoice in times of trouble. And, the adversities and the troubles that we go through, it's
Mm.
only for our benefit in a way where it benefits us in a way where we'll feel closer to God and we'll feel stronger in our faith. And once we have that hope, that strong hope and that strong faith, then we can attain anything with God's help. And what Sister Melvi Tamayo said about time, it's true. If someone makes time for you, then that means like it's already a big thing, because if you make time for something or for someone, it's something that you can never take back, because you can take back other, like, you know physical things or material things, but you can never take back time. So yeah, I feel like that's such a like wise advice, or like such a helpful advice. Thank you, sister.
That's a great reminder. That's why for many of us and myself included, one of my goals when it falls under the relationship category is that spending time with the people that matter, right? The people that matters in my life, in your life, right? You spend time with them and you make sure that they don't feel neglected, that you don't neglect the time that you spend, because time is something that we can never get back. And especially when it comes to our parents, right? And like our loved ones, it's very important that we cultivate those moments and those time with them, because those are special memories. And since we were talking a lot about like the people that we surround ourselves with and the people that cheer us on, just the final part of this discussion, because obviously we're coming close to time already. So just this final part are for your own personal thoughts on the role, and I think we've sort of echoed this a little bit already. No, what's your thoughts on the role that community or even accountability plays in staying on track with your goals, the things that you want to achieve? What do you think it plays for you, like Sister Bell?
I feel like when you have a good set of friends, or a good circle in your life, of the most closest people in your life, um, it'll bring you more motivation, and like, they'll keep you accountable, as you mentioned earlier, KJ. They'll support you in a way where you'll be able to elevate your level and do more of what you wanted to do, and
Mm,
help you achieve your goals. And it'll help you like it'll help you find more interest in what you do, because you're like, oh, I feel like I can do this. You've got that great sense of, secureness in your, like, you feel more secure in yourself, and you feel more secure in a way where even if things go wrong, you'll still be able to rise above those setbacks. And it'll help you thrive, like, how flowers thrive to through like the most adverse biomes, or like the most adverse places, is because of water and, sun. I mean, I feel like those are like the major things that like a plant needs, like to survive. But of course, like if a flower can do it, then so can you. Like um if
I
you're
like that.
if you're able to, see it that way, like uh have a check of what you already have, and be grateful of what you have, then you'll have all that you need to get through in life, right,
I like
KJ?
that. I like that analogy. I'm not much of a gardener, so I don't know much about planting on that. But I do understand that a plant or a flower blooms and thrives. Right, it thrives based on its environment, on how it's taken care of. Right, and I think that's the same thing for a person. If you put a person in the right environment with the right people, with the right community that's supporting it, that's taking care of it, that's cheering it on, that when it falls down, it helps to get it, get back up. All of those things, right? They're going to succeed. They're going to achieve more. They're going to become better than what they were at the beginning of the year, right? You may not achieve your goal at the end of the year, but your journey to get there is going to make you a better person than what you are now. That's going to make you stronger. That's going to make you wiser. That's going to make you more experienced. And that is all got to do, not just by yourself, because they always say no man is an island, right? So it all has to do with the people around you, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your partner, your friends, like the people around you. And for us, you guys are Ohana, the one that's constantly sharing their thoughts, their comments, their insights there in our live chat whenever we have all these different topics and discussions, things that are relatable that happens in our life, and we hear your perspective on it. We grow together because of you, right? So you being here, you're making our environment better. Like we're the hosts, but you guys are making our environment here on Faith and Melody a place where we can all thrive and we can all bloom. I love that. Did you like that, Sister Mel? But that's
Yes.
that's that's so true. Like, we love you guys. We love everything that you've done. And hopefully it's the beginning of a new year. And we hope that we always see you here sharing your thoughts, your insight at the Melvi, at the ISCO, of course, our executive producer, Kuya Nathan, at the Zenaida, everyone that's always there in our live chat and sharing and listening to our broadcast. But with that, we are out of time. We love this discussion. We're going to talk more. We've got so much more to talk about this whole month of January, especially being the beginning of a new year. But I think we've read all of those. Did we read at the East Coast one, the last one there? We've got a couple more. So I'll pass it over to Sister Bell just to read those final comments, and then we'll proceed over to our verse of the week and close off the show.
Sister Isco said, I don't expect one person to give me everything because I believe every brother and sister has a role to play and has strength to share that we can emulate. And she said there is one that lifts up and one that keeps us grounded. And that's true. Each person has a role in our lives. And Sister Malvi said having a support system makes a great impact, especially when they're seeing the positive results of our goals that make us not only better individuals but also improve relationships with others. And I feel like it's true. We should have, like, having a really strong supportive system, like our family, our friends, our siblings, our fellow brethren, like in the church, our parents, grandparents. It's just a really great way for you to, elevate through life and thrive through life. And Sister Malvi also said, thank you, KJ and Atibel, for this great topic and reminder. And we are really, really grateful for you, Sister Malvi, and for all the viewers and listeners there in team live chat, our Ohana. We wouldn't have this without you as well, because your insights really brings us even more together and closer to one another. But with that said, let's now go on to our verse of the week, which is entitled Coping with the Loss of a Parent, with Brother Andres Silva, a minister of the gospel.
There are some things in life that are painful to talk about, especially the loss of a parent. It's difficult to just think about, but the fact remains, death is a part of life. One can feel a whole range of emotions when a loved one passes away, and something that might be missing is a sense of hope. But even in those darkest moments, the Bible still provides us with wisdom and guidance. Hi, I'm Brother Andre Silva, and for this week's verse of the week, we will read Psalm 27:10. Even if my father and mother leave me, the Lord will still take care of me. Now, losing a parent, though painful, should not make us feel abandoned. Our parents, being God's instruments to bring us into this world, diligently took care of us, worked so hard to provide for our every need, materially and especially spiritually. They did this so that they would have the peace of mind that should the time come that they be laid to rest, there is that guarantee that the Lord will still take care of their child. So for members of the Church of Christ, strive for God to remain your faithful companion. Remember what was taught to us from our childhood. Hold on to God's promises. Have that holy fear of God, and to always believe and trust in and rely on what the Lord God can do for us. Let this reminder of the Holy Scriptures be a source of strength for each one of us during difficult moments, that God will still continue to love us. This is our verse of the week. Stay safe, stay strong, stay faithful. God bless.
That wonderful reminder as additional inspiration for this week ahead. And if you would like to know more about our faith here inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, you can email us on faithandmelody@incradio.net. And with that said, as we step into our 2025 year and reflect on our goals, we hope that, throughout this year, we'll always remember that um, God is there for us. And as long as He's there for us, we'll be able to get through anything and accomplish anything with His help. But yes, I would like to greet everyone a happy new year. Although it's a bit late for New Year, but yes, happy New Year, because this is our first episode of Monday Faith and Melody of this year. So yeah, happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much. It means a lot to each and one of us that you are able to support us uh, through Team Live Chat. There like with your insights and our Ohana, and also our silent listeners. Thank you so much. And yeah, I would also like to greet my family, my mom, Aterika, Arian, Samsam, and Dandan. And yes, uh, thank you so much, everyone. KJ?
Yes, shout out for me to my wife, Sister Jem, and to our daughter Lena, and of course to all of you that joined us on today's episode and always there supporting us, whether you're watching us live or on the replay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you tune in to tomorrow with their topic, Up for the Challenge. So make sure you join Sister Care with tomorrow's episode of Faith and Melody. Thank you again to each one of you, especially to our technical team there in the main studio, Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene, to Sister Des Asenas and Brother Edwin Asabuke, and of course, Brother Wally Taray, our INCRadio station manager. And most of all, very grateful and also heartfelt thanks to our CEBSI President, CEO, and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo, and to our Executive Minister of the Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for giving us platforms such as this to be able to reach out and share our faith to each one of you. Sister Bell?
And for our next program, it'll be the Iglesia Ni Cristo and Bible, which today's topic is what is the unique characteristic of the Iglesia Ni Cristo, hosted by Brother Dante Thompson. And for our closing song for our show today, it'll be the INC original music entitled Unstoppable. And I am Sister Bell with your brother Jay over there, and we hope that we've made the start of your week extra meaningful. And join us again tomorrow on the next episode of Faith and Melody. Stay safe, everyone, and Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year! Let's make this year a great one. Thank you, Kuya Tex. Thank you, everyone.
I was the first history. Let's see, more than a century. Evidently, this is heaven sent, God given energy. We're never getting tired. The bar, we raise it high. We're not just trying to get by. More properties we buy, more countries we reach, more converts baptized in the race that we're running. Man, it seems that we fly. In God we trust, on Him we rely. Always giving us strength, the faith, the light, the love, the hope, the life that we need. All His miracles we see for the INC. His goodness and power can be seen in our victories.
With God's help, we're striving. With God's love, we're shining. All the blessings God gives, all the blessings He receives will only help to further our victory.
With God's help, we become unstoppable. With God's help, everything is possible. All of the accomplishments are remarkable. Others can't hate, but they still can't stop it though. We move forward, never ever stumble. With God blessing us, we still stay humble. And through the struggle and all of the trouble, our work we redouble. And look at what it's come to. We're global now, we're not done yet. Working before the sunrise and way past the sunset. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets, always putting in work, that's what His Son said. We're going farther than the seas and beyond our limits, because God is on our side. We will never be finished. Our hands keep on working and we still stay winning. Made it to 100, that's just the beginning.
With God's camp, we're thriving. With God's help, we're rising. All His teachings He bestows, all His teachings will oppose. We march on and on for the victory. Thousands of brethren who are studying His teaching. Millions of fellow men who are learning His teaching. Yeah. Through the worship building, standing tall. This is all evidence that He won't let us fall. The Church of Christ continues to grow with God's great name made truly known. More than 100 years of God's countless blessings, everything made possible. More than 100 years of His love never ending. Through the good and the bad, we remain victorious. We return all the praises to a God so glorious.
Ito ang INCRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasahimpapawid mula sa